Hello and welcome to another weekly vlog. This is the third clip I have just filmed for 3 separate vlogs. I didn't sign off either last week's or the week before, so I'm starting this week's with how I ended last week's to show you this. I've got a fake fringe, guys. Initially I had wanted a fringe cut into my hair and she said it would be too much change all at once, so we didn't do it. So I decided to order a fake fringe. Now in saying that, now that I've washed my hair and it's all frizzy and looking a bit crap, it won't look all smooth like it did. So let's see if we can get this fringe positioned. It'll probably need cut because it's quite long, but it is the same colour as my hair. Fucking hell, Lisa. Oh my god, what do I look like? Right, hang on, how do we do this? I should have split that in the middle or something, shouldn't I? Is that fringe? Oh no, Lisa, no, we don't think fringe is going to happen, guys. That's not good. Wonder if I had it split in the middle, but I've like brushed my hair different today. I've like, oh fucking hell, honest to God. Oh, if you're out there, don't do what I do. Don't cut your hair. Even if it is a bloody mess, at least you can put it into a ponytail. Nope. What way does this go? Don't even know what bloody way it goes. Right. Oh my god. Right, so that, you know what, if my hair was smooth like this and shiny like that, maybe. But with my hair as it is, no, I don't think so. Do you think that looks ridiculous? Let me know. Maybe if I had like a really, you know, like one of these. But my hair is too thick and too coarse to, I think that's answered my question. If I had this hair, then yeah, I could have a fringe. I don't have that hair, so I can't have a fringe. My hair's fine when it's really long because it can go, you know, I wash it, I put it like in a bun, I let it dry naturally, and when I take it out it's like wavy, and that's fine. It's very low maintenance. And I'm a very low maintenance person, but this just means that my hair to me just constantly looks untidy, and when I wash it, it's even worse than it looks now. I have attempted to cursorily, what's the word, I've done a lot of cursing to try and just a degree of straightening this, but it's so coarse and it's starting to kick out at the ends. I'm handless when it comes to my hair. And I can't go into the hairdresser every time I want it to, it's just going to have to look like this till it grows a bit. Right, that's all I've got to tell you. I will check in with you guys tomorrow when I'm in the car on the way to my mum's. But yeah, just signed on to tell you, welcome to this week's weekly vlog. Hello guys, it is Tuesday. I'm on my way into my mum's. It's a nice rainy day, so I don't know if she's going to want to go out or not. I want to get the Cyrano soundtrack. Oh, I'm obsessed, absolutely obsessed with the Cyrano soundtrack. It's just all so good, the whole thing, but there's a couple of songs. There's one called Every Letter, another one called Your Name, and another one called Overcome. Can't stop listening to them, but I love all of them. It's a beautiful movie with an amazing soundtrack. And I am just so incredibly jealous of all the people that saw Peter Dinklage do the stage show. The stage show is actually, because I looked it up, the stage show is going at the moment and touring, but it has, who did it say it had? I've forgotten now. Oh, James McAvoy, who I do really like, but obviously he's gone back to the story of the big nose, Cyrano. Oh, what I would have given to see Peter Dinklage do that. I don't have the interest if it's not Peter Dinklage. As much as I like James McAvoy, it was Peter Dinklage that made me fall in love with the movie. His voice, his vocal, oh, he's got such a deep, rich, beautiful voice. It's just gorgeous. I don't think there's anything much to tell you this week. Isaac had a swimming and guitar lesson yesterday. We've I've got Robert staying over on Saturday. He's having his first sleepover, so I need to buy a new duvet and pillow for him. He's going back to jiu-jitsu tonight for the first time. He hasn't been since the start of COVID. They stopped the classes out in our village and they haven't recommenced them again. They haven't restarted. So he's going into the one in town with Robert. Robert's dad actually helps with the classes. So Robert's dad's taking him in and then Darren's going to pick them up again because Robert's dad has to stay for the second class, the older ones. So it would mean Robert and Isaac would have to sit for an hour. And I'm sure they're perfectly capable of sitting for an hour, but I know those two together won't behave. They'll just like talk and giggle and, you know, as schoolboys do. I'll try and get around this. Something and you've got a massive big long stretch of road, and I was like just beside that lorry there, and round the corner came a BMW. He must have been doing 80, and they see what you're doing and it's almost like they put their foot down. I mean, what's going to happen? We're going to head and crash into each other and die. That's, you know, you're not doing this, you're not overtaking something. Honestly. So yeah, I'll not waffle anymore. That's what's going on today. I haven't been filming much recently because we haven't been up to much, we haven't been doing much. And every time I see my hair in the bloody... It was bad when I'd been to the hairdressers, but at least it was tidy and it was smooth. Now that I've washed it, it's like really thick and wiry again. I've had to take the side of it back. Got a nice little clip on there. I'm going to be so gutted if they can't get loads of the colour up, because then I'll have done it for no reason. I think their idea, I'm going in the middle of May and they're going to put basically it's like a bleach bath, but they call it cleansing now because it doesn't sound so harsh. And then they lift as much of the black off as they can. They don't bleach it, it's like a stripper almost. And then your hair usually ends up like a really like horrible orange apparently. And then they put another colour over the top. So I'm probably going to come out with... Right, there's a fucking guy reversing out onto the main road. Fuck's sake. Pardon my language. One magpie. So I'm going to die today. I'm probably going to come out with brown hair instead of black hair, which is going to be a big change, isn't it? If they could even get it like to like a coppery red, I'd be happy with that. But the eventual plan is all of the colour stripped off so I can go like bubblegum pink or lilac. You see, I don't actually know what percentage of my hair is actually grey because I've never let it grow out more than... I don't even think I've let an inch of it grow out. So we'll just have to wait and see. I'm not going to do my roots until my appointment, so it will have been 6 weeks. I've never let my roots grow that long, so I'm going to have to get some of that spray stuff. I see all you people out there that don't have dark hair, you don't know how lucky you are. How the like graduation to grey is so much easier, or if you've never dyed your hair. I had that. I've always had really dark brown hair that people always said was black but wasn't. And then I think when I was about 18 I had a disastrous moment with bleach. I was stupid enough to think if I put bleach on my hair and didn't leave it on the full time, it would make it like ginger red instead of like lighter brown, but I didn't realise it lifts off in different parts of your head at different levels. So like my roots were white, then it went to yellow, then it went to orange, then it went to like a really deep orange, and it was awful. And I was forced to go out and buy black dye to cover it because it was that bad. And ever since then I've been dyeing my hair black, so that's basically been since I was like 18. Which was fine because my roots never showed because my hair is so dark anyway. But when I started going grey, my dad started going grey in his 20s. I started going grey in my 30s. So Darren still, I think he's got a few grey hairs in his beard. He says he's got some grey hairs in his head. I've never seen them. And he's 48. Is he 48? Is he 49? I think he's 49 now. You know when you get to that age, you forget what age you are? Well, we're at that age now. And I've prattled the whole way in again. Right, I shall switch you off and I will check in with you guys when I'm next on. Hello. I am just coming out of Tesco's. I'm on my way home. We didn't go out today. My mum was too tired. Somebody half in, half out the petrol station. Just been to Tesco's and I've managed to get a duvet and pillow. The duvets, single duvets for a 10.5 tog, reduced from 25 quid to 10 clearance, probably because it's getting a little bit warmer. So happy days. I've got a 25 quid duvet for a tenner. I've got a new pillow, two new pillows. Got myself a curry pot noodle because that's what I fancy for my tea. Unhealthy though it may be, I'm having a curry pot noodle. Mum's really tired still. She had a UTI, or as she told the carers, an STD last week, and she was on antibiotics for a week, and it's really like just taking it out of her completely. So she's still recovering. She has a lot of difficulty down one of her sides, her left side. And her arm, I've noticed, has got a lot worse. She's got almost no movement at all in that arm now. It's the MS obviously progressing, but my mum used to have something called relapsing remitting MS, which meant it was pretty the same. She obviously has all the normal issues surrounding MS, but at certain times of the year, when I was a child, it was always around Christmas, it was always in December. My mum would end up like bedridden. She wouldn't be able to see properly. One of her eyes would just drift off completely to the side. She was really, really bad. Sorry, you're getting my air freshener. Over the last 20 years or so, it hasn't been relapsing remitting. It's been, I think it's called primary progressive, which basically means it just progresses, it just gets worse, and it doesn't ever revert back. So like previously it would get really bad and then it would revert back to normal, really bad, revert back to normal. Now it just gets gradually worse. She obviously has periods of time where she's better than other times. I always wonder where people are going in such a rush that getting there 5 minutes later driving at the speed limit. Right, let me be honest with you, I'm doing 75, so yes, I'm going 5 miles an hour above the speed limit. That guy has just left me for dust, so I'm assuming he's doing about 90. Yeah, so it gets, certain periods of time get like quite worrisome. My mum's now 60, what am I have to add 20 to what I am, she's 66. So for having severe MS since she was 23, you know, that she's still here, which is something. My dad's brother also had MS, and he passed away a couple of years ago. He only had it for like half the length of time my mum had. My mum went for a good 20 years where she was still able to like be on her feet. Obviously not very good, but you know, still to a degree. Obviously now she can't walk, she needs, you know, to be dressed and undressed and washed, and I would say she's near on this stage where she needs feeding because she struggles with eating and half it goes down her, but she still wants to keep that degree of independence. So I've noticed a real decline though on her left side. She's really, really struggling with it. So her arm's like almost always stagnant, and her fingers have started to like turn in and stuff, which is just one of those things, you know, that you have to accept. But you know, I hate seeing my mum have to, you know, lose little bits of independence that she had. And we used to love to go out for like a coffee and a bun or something, But my mum's really self-conscious about eating anything in public now because she struggles. We have to bring like a special cup out for her to drink from, like a beaker with a spout on. It's things like that people don't think of, you know, they think they're being like, people don't realise, they think they're being helpful with certain things, like giving them a straw or something, but you know, my mum can't even hold something without spilling it, which is why it has to have a lid like a beaker, you know, like a baby beaker, something like that. So yeah, it's just one of those things. But she's very, very tired at the minute, very listless, but you know, she seems in good enough spirits. I have noticed she's repeating herself a lot again, which she tends to do when she's just had a UTI, so she would do it when that's the case. She would have that delerium, which she had a few times, and it was really frightening the first time when we didn't know what it was, because it had all the like markers of early onset dementia. She didn't know who I was. She thought I was her, my dad's brother, Chris. She was imagining things were there where they weren't. She was reaching for her handbag all the time, which wasn't there. She was describing things that had happened that hadn't, like her being up at night, running up and down the wards. My mum hasn't been able to run up and down for like 20 years. So, longer actually. But it was delirium and she did recover from it, but it makes you wonder when it's coming back, you know. She's had it a few times now and it's quite frightening. I really feel for people that have gone through the Alzheimer's and dementia route. We haven't, but we have had a window into it where my mum has been that way for a period of maybe a couple of months, and it's scary. I think we've had it 3 times now, and each time you don't know whether it's going to come back. The last time she was in hospital for an extended period of time, the doctor, my dad is terrible with hospitals, doctors generally. He didn't even go in the ambulance with her, which I was actually a bit angry about. So she went up to the hospital, he called me, I drove up to the hospital, and when I arrived, the doctor that was there started talking to me about, have you had a discussion about end of life? And first of all, I think it was extremely insensitive, given that my mum was not dying. If he had have said it to my dad, I dread to think of the response it'd have got. Now, I have sort of said to my mum, you and my dad need to talk about a lot of things and the progression of your illness and different, but my parents are just head in the sand kind of people, and they don't want to talk about it and they don't want to think about it. And I've asked her before, when you were diagnosed with MS, did you not look into it and the progression and what might happen? And because I would want to know everything, and I would want to, like, you know, every single little thing I can expect to happen, I want to know. If I was to be diagnosed with an illness, I'd want a plan in place when things happen, whereas my parents don't do any of that. They don't think about things that are going to happen. My mum doesn't know half of what happens. She doesn't want to know. They haven't arranged what's going to happen when she's at a stage. My mum doesn't see herself getting to a stage where she can't be cared for at home, which I feel is an unfair pressure on my dad, who's not, that we've went into all that before. I'm not going to go down that road again, but when the doctor said, have you discussed what end of life, basically, would you want to have her resuscitated if she was to pass away? And she was in with a kidney infection. Obviously she didn't look very well, my mum's very frail, but it was the first thing that he said to me, and I was a bit taken back by it. Plus I couldn't answer the question because I said, it's something that my parents, I have tried to discuss with them and they're not interested in discussing. They don't want to talk about it, and he's like, all right, okay, and they left it. But that's not my decision to make, you know what I mean? It's my parents' decision to make themselves. But it's a worry that you have when you have parents that are ill, and it's something I'm so envious of people that don't have that side of things. And, you know, I look around me. Now, when I was growing up, my parents didn't go to school plays or anything like that, and I sort of was like, had to help a lot at home. And now as an adult, having a child, I see my friends, I see a lot of other people, and their grandparents really present in their lives and looking after them and taking them places and going on holiday and all those lovely things that kids should have with grandparents. And Isaac doesn't have that because my parents basically are not fit to do anything. And not to be unduly blunt about it, Darren's dad and his wife were particularly interested in, which is why we moved back. Because my parents were so desperate to like spend time with their only grandson, or to see him grow up. And it was at the point where he barely saw his other grandparent because he was always too busy with his new wife. So the decision was made to move back. Hello, very quickly, we're on the way. Oh, I've just noticed a petrol again. What? See this petrol palaver at the minute. It's costing so much money. You put petrol in and it doesn't seem to go anywhere at all. So I'll need to get some more tonight. Gone up to get Robert and his sister for Scouts. They're doing a bit of gardening tonight.
What's after that, do you know?
You're just going back to the hall, Isaac. I don't know, I haven't said.
Up in my side.
Isaac decided to wait until we were going out the door to go to the toilet, and on the way out the door he didn't put his coat on even though they're doing gardening outside.
And it's freezing, it's been snowing.
And had the cheek to say to me, because he'd 5 minutes left, well, why did you call me down from the computer? Why did I have to come down already? There's still 5 minutes left. But yet still didn't go to the toilet until we were going out the door. And then he wonders why people call him down 5 minutes early.
Well, they still needed to get changed and put his shoes on.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just calling for Robert and Kayla now, so I'll put this off as I'm sure they're not particularly going to want to be filmed. It is
Cold.
Saturday, it is cold. It is 7 degrees. We are on the way to pick up Robert to go to see... Isaac is in the back of the car, we're not just picking up a random child. We're going to see this, is it The Secrets of Dumbledore?
Yeah.
Which I've heard is quite good. But it's just for basically the trip out somewhere. We're going out because they've got their sleepover tonight.
Yeah.
So this will be their first, also their first sleepover. There's Owen and Aiden. Oh shit. Typically, now the Scouts had this weekend, but a full week arranged in the first week of August, which sounded really good, but the problem was it's in Lancashire, it's near the Lake District. Isaac doesn't swim very well, and they're combining camps from like all over the world. There's going to be 1,500 kids there. It'll be Isaac's first time away from home, so I think he agreed himself that for his first trip it's a bit big. Just would have been good if he had been able to go to the other one that he had COVID for. But I know Robert and Kayla aren't going to any this year, so hopefully all three of them will get to go next year on whatever they do. But the reason I raise it is they have a thing called Cull Camp in Northern Ireland every year. It's on your side, isn't it? I always forget. And it's exactly the same week. So and Isaac does it every year. And so if we had have wanted to do the weekend away in Cull Camp, we couldn't have, which is typical. The whole summer, 8 full weeks, and they pick the only date that something else was on, which is ridiculous. Right, I'm just putting some petrol in because we're down to, apparently there's a big petrol issue down south of England with people like protesting or something. Yeah, right, I'm gonna get some petrol. Okay, advertising in Ireland, folks. I've just spotted this. Darren told me about it, but fucking hell, on the posters, honestly.
Feck.
Inappropriate.
Curtains. That's what replaced the Yeti, this great one.
You make a wish.
Are you about ready?
You cast
No, I'm not.
a spell. You an angel ring.
Now pretend it's your spot.
Right.
You know that if they have a product on it, if you know, like hotels, if the brand name of the hotel is on it, they want you to take it. If you can take anything from a hotel if it has the branding on it.
Back home after the cinema today, Doggy likes the fire. Look at that dog. You have to actually prop up the bed on the actual... Look, can you get close enough, dog? I'm going to have to put that thing over in a minute.
Should be drying it nose out.
Yes. So we went to the cinema today with Robert and Isaac. You're now upstairs playing some game or other. And we're going to have to vacate the living room soon to give them the sofas to sleep on. What do you think of the film today?
That was quite good, yeah. Got one number, damn it.
I don't know what my numbers are, so I couldn't tell you what I done.
Thought we made a good video.
What?
Leave when you start bothered naked down the road.
Yeah. Right, doesn't that look awful, people, if you're in the UK? Romeo and Juliet, what a pile of wank does that look?
That's a clever pun.
Yeah, wonderful. Right, I'll leave it for today, and I'll catch up with you tomorrow to let you know how the sleepover went. Hello, it is Sunday. We're doing the usual trip into my mum's, so I'm just putting this on to close off the vlog for the week. I didn't record anything yesterday, really at all. So we went upstairs last night to bed at 9 o'clock so that they could have, we've got like 2 big sofas, so they could have a sofa each, so they were in the same room. Bedlam, 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 bang, 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 bang. Said nothing until it was like well after midnight. 1 o'clock came. Upstairs, 2 of them came. 2 of them walked into our bedroom. Us in bed.
I stood at the doorway.
No, you didn't. You came straight in and he followed you, Isaac. The 2 of you were stood right at the end of the bed, staring at us in our beds, and said, "Can we put a light on because we're both really creeped out in their own house, in his own house." So they put a lamp on. 2 o'clock in the morning comes. Isaac comes up the stairs. Because since it's a sleepover, can we stay awake? I'm like, what? Do we have to sleep? Can we not stay awake? And Darren says, "You're having a what? Sleepover." And Darren says, "A what over? Sleepover." What was that word? What? Sleep. Well, there you go. No, you can't stay awake. Can you go downstairs? Because can you imagine if the kid goes home to his parents and says, "No, well, we were allowed to stay up all night"? Most parents would probably be quite annoyed by that. They went downstairs again, or Isaac did, 2 o'clock in the morning. Proceeded to be loads and loads more noise. I'm lying wide awake. Then Darren makes noises like a farmyard all night. I've never heard snoring like you did last night. It was shocking. Didn't get a wink of sleep. 4 o'clock came. They must have drifted off to sleep by just after 3. Because that's when the noise stopped. I'm still awake. It was Darren snoring. What is it? No idea about what that's about. Isaac told me this morning my Freddie Mercury Funko Pop,
It was moving.
because it was moving. Freddie's back to life and in my front room. We're here now, so take out whatever you've got with you, Isaac. I shall speak to you guys next week. Thank you for watching. Bye.